And joining us now is a public affairs commentator and a regular here, Dr. Dennis Ekemezie. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning, Dave and EJ.
Morning, Sayo.
All of you are looking good this morning.
Are you too?
Feeling Hamatan?
Yeah, the Hamatan has started, really. Okay, just like we do, we'll begin with our ABS website. On ABS website, we have Anambra government to construct new bridge to link Obaru communities with Ihiala local government area. Zig's mausoleum, Fashola endorses quality of work. Anambra government promises more assistance to persons affected by flood. ABS receives award of excellence for championing promotion of Igbo language. Those are the major stories on the website of Anambra Broadcasting Service. You can also get other stories as you log into the site. So, Doc, let's start from the new bridge that will link Obaru communities with Ihiala local government. Yes,
if you know that place, that terrain very well, you know that there is a river line area, and it's connecting, linking up two local governments, food baskets of Anambra State also, and it will also help in rural development because it's going to connect the rural people from Obaru and then Ekusigo local government together. So I think the state government under the leadership of Dr. Willie Obiano is trying to transform all the rural communities in Anambra State, giving them linkages so that there will be this interconnectivity for socio-economic transformation.
Yes, interconnectivity for socio-economic transformation. Yeah. Let's go over to the Daily Sun now. On the front page of the Daily Sun, federal government fires back at Obasanjo. Buhari will defeat your candidate in 2019. Beside the nameplate, EFCC arrests ex-Governor TLG's son, impounds exotic, expensive cars. Vote buying, Saraki Dogara tackles security agencies. Grand corruption, Nigeria's greatest problem, Osibanjo. Boko Haram perpetrating heinous crimes in Northeast, coming from Buratai. Abga begs Bianco Jupu. That's on the front page of the Daily Sun this morning.
Buhari will defeat your candidates. And this is coming from APC to Obasanjo. Yeah, and you're wondering, Obasanjo had Buhari as his candidate during the last election, 2015, and he was never defeated. Do you think they will defeat his candidate this time?
Well, let me call it wars of generals, because both of them are generals in Nigerian army, and they are still good friends. And this is part of political, part of campaign strategy on winning an election. And plus or minus, let them go to the field and then vote. The pool will decide. Because I remember when Mobro said that na vote to Kogebi. So let them go to the pool and then people will decide who is going to win.
Talking of the generals, he said it's wars of the generals. How long are we going to have these generals in the civilian administration?
Even in American history, you discover even American political history, you still see generals imagining. Even Trump was as director of the security service, and it's part of the socio-economic, socio-political transformation, because they always believe that they are disciplined people. They are well trained to be in the political sphere, and also you know that the political process in Nigeria, the handing over from during military rule to civilian rule, that the generals were the people dictating who is going to be.
I'll give it to you. Otherwise, I would have told you that Nigerians would tell that they had it better with what's the name of Yaradua and Jonathan, that we are bloody civilians according to the military.
Who brought them in is the question. It's not whether you are happy with them. Who brought them in? Because they are part of the generals.
You believe you are looking at the cartel now involved in the Nigerian politics?
The mafia, the cabal. Well, the word there is mafia and cabal.
Okay,
political juggernauts.
Let's move over to the Daily Times. Yeah. The Daily Times is also filled with stories. Federal government PDP differ over alleged invasion of Atiku's son's house. Raid on SVP son's residence, blockade of Obi's account. Fake news, federal government. PDP, presidency's action, dirty politics, unacceptable. We never raided, arrested Atiku's son. That's coming from the EFCC. Then, beside the nameplate there, we have payment of 236 million subsidy will improve economy, coming from oil marketers. And some other stories trending. Nigeria targets 20,000 megawatts electricity transmission in 3 years, coming from TCN boss. The federal government's cash disbursement, vote buying, Dogara alleges. 1.4 billion money laundering, 13 sons appear for NBA president Osoro. Those are the major stories that we have on the front page of the Daily Times. The argument still continues who is dispersing the fake news, whether it's PDP or APC.
Fake news is fake news. The messenger and the message have interconnectivity. And whether it's APC or PDP, what we know is that they are giving information, whether it is fake or not fake. The point is that whichever one, it has to be verified. And then people should also be cautious of information they receive and then be able to sieve it. It's not a question of receiving information, which our people call asle. In no asle, imagine you investigate and get the reality. But however, there's no smoke without fire. There's no smoke without fire. So whether it's fake,
Nigeria targets 20,000 megawatts of electricity transmission in 3 years.
It's a proposal, it's a set target, it's an estimate. And if it is well implemented, I think it will also uplift the energy sector.
With what you have seen on ground now, do you think
But do you notice that there's an improvement in electricity supply in this part of Anambra? Do you notice that?
I think there is.
There's a great improvement. At least I have 12 hours light now.
I enjoyed more than that last weekend.
It's a good development. Let me give it to you.
We just pray it's permanent.
Yes, let it.
The permanent part of it. On the Nation newspaper, the front page of the Nation, 2019 knocks for Basanjo over anti-Buhari comment. 2019 knocks for Basanjo over anti-Buhari's comment. Still on that paper, we have CBN, EFCC to punish forex policy marketers or violators. That's the stories on the front page of the Nation. It's still focusing on the breed bats being thrown by the APC and the PDP. We also look at the Punch newspaper now. On the front page of the Punch, Obasanjo's support won't save Atiku from defeat. Buhari can't match Atiku in character, integrity, says PDP. Fans suspend service interruption in 3 airports. By Courtney denies owing agency. Lagos pastor defies church members' twin daughters. Ogun PDP kicks as Kashamu gets party's governorship flag. I will free Lagosians from godfatherism, says Abaje. Kidnappers kill Ondo Poly lecturer over late payment of ransom. CBN stops forex for fertilizing importation. Those are the major stories on the front page of the Punch. So it is still the argument about who, the APC and PDP. But let's look at the story of the issue of forex being an issue for fertilizing importation. CBN just stopped forex or forex exchange from continuing because they believe there are people who have continued to violate the system.
If they violate the system, what do? They take them to appropriate quarters where they should be investigated and then be tried. It's a simple mathematics there. You violate, then I investigate, then I prosecute you. Very simple.
So let's take someone joining us this morning. Hello. 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 Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Sam from Oka.
Sam from Oka, go on.
Yeah, I would like some clarification on, I thought that we read now. I heard you say that Africa begged the Ojukwu's wife. I'd like to some Mr. Kennedy to clarify more on the begging why and how, and why did she need some apology from Africa, please.
Okay.
I think it's a family affair. It has to be handled in a family manner.
Thank you. You can drop now. And maybe guess what?
It's a family affair. Africa is a family.
Africa has pecked Ujuku's wife. And that's what he raised now that we did not talk about it.
I said it's a family affair, and the better language you use in a family to persuade somebody, the better. Because the African slogan is and how can you leave your daughter or your mom? Let me call her like that, and then outside you go and bring her in because she's your mother. So it's a family affair. Let me conclude it like that. That it's a right step.
It's a family affair.
It's the reconciliation method and reconciliation move.
And I hope she has accepted the apology. That's the most important thing, so that the party can move forward.
I think no, that's the group dynamics.
Finally, on the Guardian newspaper, anger over alleged EFCC raid on residents of Atiku's sons. INEC forecloses use of incident forms in 2019 polls. Oil marketers suspend planned strike, oppose party payments. Part payments. Lagos Oshubi airports operate as fan, suspends shutdown. Those are the major stories on the front page of The Guardian. Let's look at this issue of INEC for closing use of incident forms in 2019. The electoral law has not been passed. The electoral bill amendment has not been signed into law. It has not been vetoed by the Senate, and INEC is saying that they will go into the 2019 election without incident forms. What does this portend for our democracy?
And what is an incident form? It's the form you fill when you are not captured by, what do you call it, the card reader, indicating that you are around, you have intention, you'll be accredited to vote, and then you incident it, you just put your name and your particulars there, then you are given opportunity to vote. And just as you rightly said, we are still expecting that both sides, either the National Assembly will veto the president, or the president will change his mind to sign the
But the statement by INEC seems to say whether it was signed or not, yes. But
let's look at the bill again. Or how do you think the election will go on without the amended electoral bill?
That's what I'm saying.
Because some people have said that the president refused to sign it because he wants to leave loopholes for rigging of the election.
That is an allegation.
I know.
It's an allegation,
and then what do you think?
What I'm thinking is that the power still lies on the National Assembly to do the veto, use their veto power, and then veto the.
You know, you said it's an allegation, but it raises concern when there are statistics to show that 75% of voting in most places that the present administration won during the 2015 elections, where what was adopted was incident forms, and that couldn't have allowed for probity in the process.
It's still explanatory what we are saying. The shortcut to it is that we are still waiting for National Assembly to act as National Assembly to veto the president.
All right. Thank you, Doctor.
It's a compulsory, they will abide by the rule, by the law. Because once they veto it, it becomes an act.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Dennis Ekemeze, for joining us on this edition of Good Morning Anambra, the newspaper headlines segment. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you very much, and I thank you for inviting me to.